Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's happening? What's going down? So, we are 1 week away from the Daytime Emmy Awards. This is the 45th annual, isn't it? Yeah. So, let's go ahead and hit up these categories. I will give out my reasonings why the person that I choose should win it. And I might add in a dark horse or two, or maybe a tie. We'll see. Anyhow, let's go ahead and hit up some of the technical categories. Best directing in a drama series. All four soaps are nominated. And I'm going to go with General Hospital. General Hospital still is that soap out of the four. In terms of directing, it still looks amazing to look at. Bold and the Beautiful usually gets a lot of love in this category, especially when they do their location shoots and whatnot, but they didn't give me anything. Days of Our Lives has never won this category. At least they probably won it once, but they haven't won it since. And as a longtime Days of Our Lives fan, I can't really be shocked if they don't win it because they just don't get it. And Y&R usually looks good in terms of directing, but I'm going to still roll with General Hospital at the end of the day on that. Best writing in a drama, I'm going to go with Days of Our Lives. If Ron Carlivati, Sherry Anderson, and Ryan Kwan is smart, they will turn in the material from the second half of the season, the scripts from the second half of the season. Do not turn in any Dina Higley crap. Please don't do it. Please, please, please don't do it. Again, the second half of Days of Our Lives in 2017 was bomb.com. It was amazing. They just have a lot of good, juicy stuff that they could turn in terms of scripts, and the committee will be blown away by. So let's go ahead and hit up the performing categories. Best Younger Actress in a Drama Series, you got Ray Edwards, Bold and the Beautiful, Haley Aaron, General Hospital, Kate Fairbanks, Y&R, Olivia Rose Keegan, Days of Our Lives, Chloe Lanier, General Hospital. And my winner is going to be Ray Edwards. Ray Edwards has been nominated 3 times in this category. Not to mention, I think she's by far the better actress in this category, and her storyline showed that she's a better actress. She just pretty much nailed it, in my opinion. I just don't think the other 4 just blew me away. No. The other 4 just did not do it for me. Olivia Rose Keegan, baby, that reel was horrible. It was cringeworthy. I couldn't take it. Chloe Lanier's, again, her reel felt very propish, and she's a good actor, but I don't understand why she turned in scenes where every heavy hitter that she was performing with outshined her. I just don't think she's getting it, because that was my biggest problem with her last year's with her reel. It was like she had a lot of propping around her, and it just took away from her as an actress. That's just my opinion. Let's see here. Kate Fairbanks, her reel was alright, but it wasn't great. The last several minutes of it felt like the Cam Grimes reel. So, nah, I don't think she should win it. Haley Aaron, hers was, again, fairly decent, but again, there wasn't no wow moment in it. That made me go wow, this is great. Like I said, Ray Edwards' reel felt more like it was almost made for prime time type, and she just did that storyline well for her, and especially how old is, the character of Nicole supposed to be on Bold and Beautiful, early to mid-20s. So yeah, she did a really good job with that, and I think she should take it. Outstanding young lead actor in a drama series. You got Lucas Adams, Days of Our Lives, Rome, Finn, Bold and the Beautiful, Tristan, Lake LeBeau, Ryan R, Casey Moss, Days of Our Lives, and Hasten West, General Hospital. And the winner, and as it should be by a landslide, should be Casey Moss. Casey Moss. His reel gave a beginning, middle, end, and it was fantastic. He did the damn thing, and it was great. It was great, amazing stuff that, you can feel proud of as a Days of Our Lives fan. Because a lot of times Days of Our Lives doesn't get a lot of, love. I mean, yeah, the last, 3 or 4 years, they've been getting a lot of love in terms of the Emmys. But before all the other soaps, got canceled, Days couldn't get this type of love. And Casey Moss, man, his reel was just incredible, dealing with the fact he shot Theo, the depression of it all, him almost committing suicide. It was just fantastic. And nobody's touching him in this category. He's the best actor in this category, and he's the more seasoned performer within the reel. So I was definitely give it to Casey Moss by a landslide. No doubt about it. Outstanding supporting actress in a drama series, you got Marla Adams, Cam Grimes, both for Y&R, Susan C. Hayes, Days of Our Lives, Elizabeth Henderson, Y&R, Michelle Morgan, as well as Y&R, and Jacqueline McKinney Woods, Bold and the Beautiful. This is the only acting category that has 6 nominees. And I get that hunch and that vibe in my head that they are going to give it to 2 females in this category. And if they do, I would love if one is Marla Adams, because there was a lot of subtlety, as well as there was a moment in her reel. She had a singing part of the reel that was kind of touching. And I just think that she might, she'll definitely, woo some people with that. And if there's a second winner to this category, Cam Grimes, Y&R. Cam Grimes has won one of these before, especially when she was a little girl. I think she was 10 or 11 years old. She might have the ability to take this one home as well. So it's kind of hard, between Marla Adams, Cam Grimes. But I will say the dark horse in this category is Michelle Morgan. Michelle Morgan's reel was very good. She gave that classic bitchy, super bitch in the beginnings, but towards the end of it, she turned into a heroine dealing with Devon's accident. That went all the way back from the beginnings of the year. And I just thought it was really, really, good. And if she ends up pulling one of those upsets, I won't even be mad, because I think that Michelle Morgan is a great actress thus far in her career, and it just would be amazing if she won. But like I said, I feel like if it's a tie, it'll be Marla Adams and Cam Grimes. But if it's only one, I must say Cam Grimes should get it. If it's only one. That's just me. All right. Outstanding supporting actor in a drama series. You got Wally Kurth, General Hospital. Chandler Macy's Days. Anthony Montgomery, General Hospital. Greg Rickhart, Y&R. And Greg Vaughn, Days of Our Lives. And the winner, I'm going to say, is Greg Vaughn. His reel was so good. I loved his reel. It was dealing with the triangle between Eric, Nicole, and Brady, and he gave some powerful, emotional, driven kind of performing. It was just so amazing. I loved it. Loved it. And it was just fantastic. And not to mention, Greg Vaughn is the personification of a supporting actor in daytime. He doesn't work every day on Days of Our Lives. He's not even on every day on Days of Our Lives. He still does Queen Sugar and whatnot. And, he does his primetime gig. But I feel like for Days, he is definitely the personification of a supporting actor. And he did that story well. And that was supposed to be Ari Zucker's exit storyline, but he took over it, in my opinion, with his acting chops. And he was just great. And I feel like he should take this one. But I got the strangest feeling because Chandler Macy's is an elder statesman to the Emmys, and he's won a bunch of them before, going back to the younger categories. They'll probably give him some love and probably will give it to him. You know, because his return storyline was really good. My problem is with Chandler Macy's reel at the end of it, it just fell flat. Like, he had all of this emotional drama stuff dealing with Sammy and whatnot, especially in the middles of it. But at the end, he had all the Belle stuff. And it was like, I had a screwed face. Like, what the hell is this? Like, and I get it. He was trying to show a subtle kind of side to Will, but I just wasn't. But again, because he's won a bunch of Emmys, it wouldn't surprise me if the committee ends up throwing it to him again. I'm just saying. So yeah, best leading actor in a drama series. We got Peter Bergman, Y&R, Michael Easton, General Hospital, John McCook, Bone the Beautiful, Billy Miller, General Hospital, and James Reynolds, Days. And the winner, and as it should be James Reynolds. He did so much incredible stuff in the Black Lives Matter storyline, going through the despair and, you know, heartbreak of his son being shot by, you know, JJ, and him wanting to seek revenge over the Hortons and being bitter and angry and sullen, and he just gave it up. He was just incredible in the storyline, and how he, you know, how Abe had to be able to forgive by the end of it. And I mean, again, just like Casey Moss's reel, his reel had a beginning, middle, and end, and it just had some great acting. But my problem is, even though he should win it, I got the baddest feeling. This committee is going to give it to John McCook. And that's no shade against John McCook. I think John McCook is a decent actor. But my problem is that because John McCook's reel had a beginning, middle, and end, his beginning, middle, and end was only 5 minutes long. You see where I'm getting at? It's going to be a situation where, because the committee has looked through all of these reels that are like, 10, 15, 20 minutes long, the fact that they're going to be treated to a straight to the point type of reel that is only 5 minutes long, they might actually give it to John McCook. And that pisses me off if it happens. But notice what's going to happen next week. I got the feeling that Bone the Beautiful is probably going to take a lot of the, you know, the technical categories next week. But what also is going to happen is they're probably going to be mostly shut out of all the major categories. But because the category, like I said, because he turned it such a short-ass reel that was to the point, they might say, fuck it. We'll give it to John McCook. So he would be my number 2 slot right now, because if I'm thinking how the Emmys are thinking, it just wouldn't shock me none. So yeah, those are my projected picks in that category. And last but not least, in terms of the acting categories, we got Eileen Davidson, Y&R, Nancy Lee Grahn, General Hospital, Marcy Miller, Days of Our Lives, Maura West, General Hospital, and Laura Wright, General Hospital. And the winner, and as it should be, is Maura West. Maura West went up against heavy hitters like Maurice Bernard, Laura Wright in those showdown scenes at the end of the nurses' ball, dealing with Morgan's death. She gave a lot of pain and heartbreak and just great scenes, and she did those scenes well. And I loved the second half of her reel, how she played up the whole Phantom of the Opera, a woman's face type of stuff, dealing with Griffith, Matt Cohen, and she just did it. She just did it just incredibly well. And I was just here for that, that real, and you just can't go wrong with Maura West. Uh, my dark horse, or well, I will get to dark horse last. My second pick would definitely be Eileen Davidson. She would be the one to give Maura West a run for her money, because Eileen Davidson's reel dealt with Ashley's fraternity that had been drug on for well over 30 years. Can you imagine today's era of soaps that happened? That would not happen. Not in the era of, instant gratification and cell phones and televisions and computers and whatnot. That just wouldn't be happening. But Eileen Davidson just did those scenes well herself, and she just brought it, and it was, it showcased her well. So I think Eileen Davidson picked some really fine scenes. But my dark horse would probably be in this category is Nancy Lee Grahn. Nancy Lee Grahn's rehab scenes were fantastic. I enjoyed those. They were just powerful, compelling, riveting, and again, just like all the other names I've listed as elder statesmen on these lists, on this list particularly, she might get some love for the committee, because the committee loves those type of scenes. So we'll see how it turns out, but I think that this is Maura West's category to lose. There's no doubt in my mind. All right, so last but not least, Outstanding Drama Series. All 4 soaps are nominated. And for me, I know the Emmys don't do this, or at least not often, but they need to make it the exception to the rule this year. And that is, Days of Our Lives needs to win Outstanding Drama Series. Yes, I said it. Days of Our Lives, the second half of 2017, was, again, great soap. It was incredible drama. It was phenomenal stuff to watch. And I just feel like this should be theirs. And they're not going to give it to them for best writing for whatever reason. Because this is what kills me about the daytime Emmys. The Oscars give it to the best movie and best writing a lot of times. But with daytime, they don't do that. I don't understand that, so I feel like Days of Our Lives should definitely win Best Drama, Best Writing. James Reynolds, Casey Moss, those should be the top winners of the night. No doubt in my mind. But, yeah, that's who I'm taking for Outstanding Soap. General Hospital is going to get love because General Hospital is General Hospital. They're the pop culture favorite, and, it is what it is. Y&R, they're going to get love because they're the number 1 soap, and, it's like, oh, that Y&R is still on type of thing. So, but I just don't see what they did in 2017 that was, like, earth-shattering amazing. You know what I mean? And as for Bold and Beautiful, same thing. I went on GoldDerby.com. Almost everybody wants Bold and Beautiful to win Best Drama. And I'm like, for what? For what? They didn't do anything. And I guess it's because Bold and Beautiful has been in a drought for well over 8 years. But I'm like, hello, look what happened to Days of Our Lives. Days of Our Lives had to wait almost like damn near 3 decades to finally win, a second Emmy Award. Stop it. I feel like Days of Our Lives should win this category, and that's just how I feel. All right, so in terms of special guest supporting, look, whatever they call that damn award, special guest performing acting category, I think John Eons, whatever his name, the guy who played Elvis on Days of Our Lives, he should get it. We all know how this Emmy committee typically works when they have watched so many dramatic kind of, acting performances. They kind of want to go for the more fluffier, light moments. And John eons would be that. You know, he gave great performances in the scenes dealing, well, since he was playing Elvis in those scenes, and they were comedical and fun. So yeah, he should definitely take it for Days of Our Lives. So yeah, those are my picks. Feel free to rate, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think, and I will holler at y'all later. Peace.